So let me go through what the forces are on the golf club and how we have to, in some cases, use those forces to our advantage, and in some cases we have to be very aware of how the golf club at some points in the golf swing, especially on the downswing, is going to do things that we have to counter against. We can't just let the golf club do whatever it wants to do. On the take back, let's start there. I'm going to put a lot of energy into the backswing, and that's why I really like the croaker, because when I do that forward press and then my handle first and sling it back, you can see there's a lot of energy going back this way. The more energy I have going back behind me, the more I have to push against with my lower body, and that force going back this way pins my upper body back while my lower body goes forward. So that's a great advantage, because if you have a pretty static backswing and just kind of getting it here and just kind of have this old 1, 2, 1, 2 type of mentality, there's really very little force going back this way, so that when you do try to turn your hips early, your shoulders are going to go with it, because there isn't the force of the club going back to pin those shoulders back this way, so that your lower body can move that way without bringing the upper body with it. So that's a very important part of the croaker golf system, is to put a good amount of energy into the take back, handle first, and then into the backsling. Again, to pin the right side, so that when I make that move with my lower body, my upper body doesn't come with it. Another important thing to understand about the force of the club on the body is, when I start to come down, I have all this force going this way. When I throw down with my hands in line, now when I say throw down, I'm not talking about throwing this way. Say that's out of line with my left arm. I'm not talking about throwing this way. That's out of line with my left arm. I'm talking about throwing this way. So it's that direction of the throw. In reality, and I know I've done this quite a few times before, if I were fishing and I was in a boat, I got water behind me, water in front of me, and I pushed down on my hands, you see this actually goes this way when my hands go this way. This is going to bend back, and this is going, as I push the handle forward, this will bend back. So what that does is it keeps my hands in that so-called classic or Tour Pro late release position all the way to here. So it may look like, and this has fooled a lot of golfers, they see freeze frames of pros, whether it's a slow motion video or whether it's an actual picture from a live golf swing. They see this and they conclude that, oh, okay, so they're getting their hands here and then they're just pulling them here. That's not what's going on. I'm really trying to get rid of the club head. Now it's the direction that I'm trying to get rid of it, and the key word here is try, because you won't be able to, because like I said, that club will be bending back this way. We'll call that a toe droop versus a heel droop. So a toe droop this way and a heel droop that way. I'll get into the heel droop in a little bit here. The club will also have some flexion when we this way and this way, so just like this and like that, and we're going to get into that relative to what's going on in the downswing. So it's the direction of the throw. So when I practice, I want to practice throwing like this, and it will actually hit my arm. Now that doesn't mean that it's hitting my arm in a real golf swing, because I don't have all this force going back that way. So when I demonstrate this action here, that doesn't mean I'm releasing my angles early. You can see that when I throw with a little bit of energy, this doesn't hit my arm until I get almost to where the ball would be. So if I do it slow, it hits my arm, but that makes me know that I'm getting in on, I'm throwing at the correct angle. And you'll see that when I throw with a little bit of force, again, this doesn't hit here until I get down to the ball. So that's another example. This is a gross exaggeration of what's really happening. When I'm trying to throw the club head, namely the hosel, I'm trying to throw the hosel at the ball from the inside. Now, what happens when I get to this classic kind of picture everybody's seen, and I just went through how that's confusing because it's not a pull to here. I'm actually trying to get rid of the club head. At this point, I've reversed, the club's gone back this way, I've reversed it, and my hands have come back, done a lot of work, and my body's done a lot of work to do this. And the club head now, the hands are slowing down and the club head's going to speed up. And the club head, when it speeds up, my hands slow down, this is going to speed up. And what happens is the club head will start to go like this. It will start to throw that sole of the club up into the ball and push the handle back. Now also the club is working in this direction for a heel droop. It's also doing this, which is pushing the handle this way. So if you don't actively fight that force of when the hands slow down and the club head speeds up, if you aren't actively trying to push the handle back down and you just let the club head have its way with you and push the handle back, you will always be playing golf off of the edge of your golf club. Your shaft will always be leaning back. And so when we do a lot of these drills where my hands are way out in front, I can, well, maybe a Dustin Johnson or someone like that, or these tour pros in general, can really get that shaft leaning in real life in an active shot. I think mine are probably like this, but I can tell you I'm working like heck to counter the handle being pushed back. Now, as far as the heel droop, because the club wants to drop this way, that I will allow to happen. When I start here, my hands are, that as we've talked about, the butt of the club is pointing at my belt buckle at address, and this is very common. You see a lot of low hands on the tour, but at impact, the handle will be up. So I'm not going to, there's no way to fight. There's no way to fight the handle coming up this way, and you really don't want to, because that action of the club going this way makes my hand do this, makes that thumb go down. When my thumb goes down, that's all part of the kinesiology of how my hand moves. That thumb going down is a precursor to the flexion in the left hand. See? Like that.